Nick M., is there anything you liked about Beau is Afraid, or was it just a total misfire for you? There's sequences in Beau is Afraid that made me laugh or were effective, that I think captured what the whole movie might have been able to be if the movie was like 90 minutes long. It's just this very trippy, weird, dreamlike comedy exploring anxiety. There's sequences that have it in there that are funny. But I think the thing that is so frustrating about Beau is Afraid for me is that it feels like a movie where there's tremendous amounts of talent on display in the acting, of course, from Joaquin Phoenix, in the direction, but all of it towards this insane script that is made for such a niche group of people. And for everyone else, it's just this unbelievably overlong slog of nonsense. And like, I haven't done a deep dive into reviews of it and the positive reviews to see what those people are getting out of it. For me, it's a movie that I couldn't even take it as like this thematically interesting film exploring anxiety, because it's a film where the whole thing is visualizing this guy's mental state of anxiety. So all these things happen that are nonsense, that defy logic, defy reason. And I mean, it'll just kind of like drift off like the way your dreams do. You're kind of following a plot in your dream, and then it kind of drifts off onto this whole other quest, and then it loops kind of back, and none of it ties together, doesn't mean anything. And that's what this whole movie is like. It's just freeform thoughts wandering around about anxiety. And there were times where I thought, oh, I think I figured out how the movie's about to end. I bet it'll be this. I bet whatever I was coming up with was logical. But the movie's not logical. It's not trying to tell this linear narrative with cause and effect. And so every time I did that, it would do something totally different, because that's not what the movie is. And then at the point in time where I was like, I realize, okay, now I know when the movie's going to end. Because when that happens, it won't be satisfying. It won't mean anything, but I bet this is going to be the end. Written and directed by R.E.S. I was like, I was right. That was an unsatisfying, random point to end this movie, which fits perfectly with this random dream turned into a 3-hour film. As I said in my quick reaction to it, the movie felt to me like if you have someone like explain their dream to you, most of the time it's not very interesting because it's not logical. Like for you as an individual, it's interesting because it's like your brain did this weird thing, and then this happened, but it's not a real story because there's no logic, there's no rules. It's just random things happening, touching on weird things going on in your psyche. That's what this is. Someone explaining their dream to you, except it's 3 hours long. And it goes into weird Freudian things about his mother. There's a lot of penis in this movie. Like, trying to not be crass, but like very like lingering on that concept a lot. All tied back to his parents and things, like just weird things that you're kind of like, Ari Aster is a freak. Like, what is this? This is, why did he want to make this? I feel like I know way too much about his disturbed mind than I wanted to, but in a way that's very boring because it's so long and it's not logical. You're not watching there's like a very vague concept of a plot that you're kind of tracking along with, but a very simplistic plot. Guy trying to get from point A to point B, taking 3 hours just to get there with these random things, like legitimately random things happening, delaying it. And that's the point, is that it is this journey of anxiety. And then random things happen at the end that like I said in my short review, it's an experience, and like I can't even describe it to you without just walking you through the plot to explain how just totally random and bizarre. Maybe this isn't spoiled, so I can just go into like, so the movie opens with him like with his therapist, and they're talking, and at the end of his therapist like, I've got some random drugs that I'll try on you. Just be sure you take it with water. and you have to take it with water or else. And then he goes outside, and on the street, there's like people walking around with AK-47s, just trading them on the street, AK-47s. And then there's a bunch of people like standing there laughing. And you're like, what? He walks in and goes, what are you guys laughing about? He goes, there's a guy up there about to kill himself. We really hope he's going to jump off, and we're filming him. We want to watch this guy jump off. It'll be awesome. It'll be hilarious. And then the next thing is the guy goes to take his meds, and he throws them in his mouth, swallows them, and then realizes the water's been turned off in his apartment. And so he starts freaking out, thinking about going across the street and he looks outside and someone's being murdered in the street. And they're like, it's just random chaos. That's just the beginning. That's the beginning where it's kind of logical. That's the logical part. 3 hours of that. So some people love that, because it's so weird and different. It's a dream brought to life with $35 million. Most normal people watch it and go, yikes, that was weird.
Most of these clips are pulled from my weekly Patreon live stream. Join at any level and you can join the chat and ask all the questions you want. That's for as little as $2 per month. For $5 per month, you can get your name on my end card. For $25 per month, you can have a monthly video chat with me. Link is in the description for more details, and keep talking movies and TV too much.